Talk about welcome to fall. I have a sweatshirt on underneath my fishing shirt. Truck said it was only 54 degrees out on the drive up here. 54. Water has dropped below 60. And combination of a little wildfire and some clouds. It's just gray up here. Everything's gray. So, welcome to fall. Fall is a great time of year for fly fishing, for dry fly fishing. This river and just about everywhere else. So my theory, based on what I've heard other people say and my own experience, is these fish have already sensed the drop in the water temperature, and they take it as a strong signal that they need to fatten up, eat everything they possibly can before the big freeze, before the water drops down to right at the freezing point. And additionally, there are some hatches that we like to focus on that happen in the fall. On this river in particular, a version of caddis called an October caddis. It's a nice big fly. It's got some orange color to it. And so yeah, I mean, anytime the trout are aggressively feeding like they need to prior to the winter is a great time to be throwing just about anything at them. All right, better fish. Right before this, I caught a little guy that fooled me into believing that he was bigger than he was. And so I dried and dressed my fly and worked myself into the spot where I know traditionally one of the bigger fish that this run has to offer holds out or hangs out. He is not giant, but he is a beautiful Westie. Oh, it's actually bigger than I thought. Yeah, he had the take of a little guy, meaning it seemed a little spastic, not all that smooth. One other thing to mention, this time of year when the temperature is on the drop, whoa, I was just about to say, oh, I can't let him get down in that white water. I was just about to say they're better fighters. So when the water cools down, there's more oxygen in it, or it holds oxygen better, and these fish don't have to hang out right at the head of riffles all the time. And they just get their spunk back. Now this river doesn't get that warm. It's not like some of the Montana streams where they have to do night owl hours and stuff like that. This river stays pretty well oxygenated throughout the entire summer and kind of peaks right around 70 degrees or 60, 68, 70 degrees. But yeah, you can sense it in how hard these fish fight this time of year. It's like they are rejuvenated. This is a nice thick one. Come on, buddy. If I get your head up, then awesome. Still going with the long leader, so a big fish is a good challenge to get his head up and keep it up. It's hard. There we go. That's just a freaking beautiful fish right there. Oh yeah. Oh, flies out. I'm on a roll. That big fish I caught the other day, same exact thing. The fly was in the net, but all right, we're not even going to touch this fella or lady. What do you think? Are you healthy? Yeah, I'd say so. Sweet. Hi. Hello. Little family of otters, I think. All right, so now that we have got a number of nice hookups this morning, I have switched gears, and the sun came out, perfect timing. I've switched gears to my mad scientist mode. I tied a fly last night that reminds me, or is loosely based on, a very popular old pattern called a renegade, which essentially is just two hackles tied at opposite ends of the shank of the hook. But I created one that, instead of having a peacock herl as its body, instead has a body of my cat redfish's fur. And instead of a white hackle back, brown hackle front, I went with a white hackle back and a grizzly hackle front. Now, redfish's fur as a body material, body color, is well proven on this river, considering that I have included it in just about every single pattern I've created for this river. It's such a good color match to our mayflies, our caddisflies, our spruce moths, our golden stones, all of it. So this is a little number 14, and I'm quite sure I could have just stayed with my old trusty purple McStimmy this morning and caught a bunch more fish that way. But this challenge is more fun because I'd like to add this pattern to my arsenal, but it's got to prove its spot in my box. So I've got a nice long, I think I hooked my fly line. I'm fishing a really nice long leader. Oh my gosh, that was so cool to watch. So as I was pulling that into thinking I had a tangle to get out of my leader, I watched a little cutthroat come up and gulp at this new fly that I suppose I'm going to call a redgade instead of a renegade. It is definitely based on the renegade, but it's tied with redfish's fur. So what I want to do with it, having already spanked a couple of big fish over here, I'm going to focus my efforts with this fly up in this new water that I haven't thrown a fly to yet today. So far so good as far as its floating ability. It's pretty visible. Obviously it's quite a bit smaller than the fly I was using just now, but I'm not having trouble seeing it. So we'll see what happens. All right, right away I just had something very cool happen. A big fish up in this water that I haven't thrown a fly into until today this year, because the water was high enough that it made wading up here almost impossible. But I had a good sized fish come up and take a full swipe at my new fly. There's a fish right there on it, and it feels like a good one. Oh, not as big as the last couple, but I will take it. Absolutely love it when a new version of a fly that I thought up in the comfort of my workshop or home then comes out on the river and produces. And I'm all about efficiency. I want a fly to be pretty easy to tie. I want it to be durable. Ooh, wow. And obviously I want it to catch fish. And then from there, I love making modifications that either make it easier to tie or make it float better. This fly, as an example, even though it's a very small, or a 14, which is small compared to some of my big stuff, but it has a foam underbody, which a lot of dry flies don't, and that's my attempt to make it float even better, particularly when it's well dressed up. This guy's strong. Great first fish on the redgade. That's going to take me a while to get used to saying. Oh yeah, nice first fish on the redgade. Had his head up for a minute. He's all the way back down. So cool. Based on where he came up and ate the fly, I think this was the one that on the previous cast came up and took a full swipe and didn't get it. But the fact is, he didn't get hooked, so he wasn't scared off. Oh man, this is a thick, beautiful cutthroat right there. The first victim of the redgade. Let me turn around in the sun here. Now, I know the hook is barbless. Wow, that is a sturdy fish right there. Here's where the durable part comes in. There it goes. All right, buddy. Thanks for the entertainment. yeah, that's where the durability part comes in, because the number one time to destroy a beautiful little dry fly is when you're trying to get it out of a fish's mouth. Whew.